Marcia Simmons had worked as a cleaning lady for Crestview Enterprises for nearly a decade. The job was tough, but she always held her head high and put her best foot forward. Every morning, she arrived at the sleek, high-rise building, pushing her cart filled with cleaning supplies, ready to ensure that every office gleamed. While her tasks were humble, Marcia took pride in her work. However, not everyone appreciated her dedication. From the moment Marcia stepped into the office each day, she was met with sneering glances and whispered remarks. The executives, dressed in tailored suits and carrying expensive briefcases, barely acknowledged her existence. To them, she was invisible, just another cog in the machine. Some, like Philip Grayson, the company's arrogant CEO, went out of their way to demean her. "Marcia, don't forget to scrub the conference room floor again," he'd call out in a condescending tone, deliberately dropping a coffee cup onto the carpet just as she finished cleaning. His laughter, echoed by other executives, stung Marcia deeply. But Marcia never retaliated. She bit her tongue, smiled politely, and continued her work. What they didn't know was that Marcia had a secret. A few years earlier, Marcia had been a rising star in the corporate world. She had a sharp mind for business and had even earned an MBA from one of the nation's top universities. But after a series of devastating personal tragedies, including the sudden death of her husband and the loss of her home, Marcia had been forced to step away from her career to care for her two children. The only job she could find to make ends meet was as a cleaning lady. Despite her current position, Marcia never stopped dreaming of reclaiming her place in the business world. She spent her nights reading up on market trends, corporate strategies, and leadership principles. She even devised a comprehensive plan to turn struggling companies into profitable enterprises. And as fate would have it, she had her eyes set on Crestview Enterprises. Months later, rumors began circulating in the office. The company was in trouble. Poor leadership had driven profits into the ground, and employees were on edge. Philip Grayson continued to flaunt his wealth and power, but it was clear he had no real plan to save the company. One day, as Marcia cleaned the conference room, she overheard Philip discussing an urgent board meeting. "If I don't find an investor soon, this whole place will collapse," he muttered, pacing the room. Marcia saw an opportunity. That night, she put the finishing touches on her plan to save Crestview Enterprises. It was bold, innovative, and backed by solid data. Early the next morning, she printed out her proposal and slid it into an envelope. At the board meeting, tensions were high. The executives sat around the table, bickering over potential investors and restructuring strategies. Philip, clearly out of his depth, leaned back in his chair, exasperated. Then the door opened. Marcia stepped in, dressed not in her cleaning uniform but in a smart business suit. The room fell silent. "What's the meaning of this?" Philip sneered, glaring at her. "I have a proposal that I believe can save this company," Marcia said calmly, placing the envelope on the table. The board members exchanged skeptical glances. Philip laughed derisively. "You? A cleaning lady? What could you possibly know about running a business?" Marcia met his gaze, unwavering. "A lot more than you think." The board members, curious despite Philip's protests, opened the envelope and began reviewing Marcia's proposal. As they read, their expressions shifted from skepticism to astonishment. "This is brilliant," one of them murmured. Marcia explained her plan with confidence, outlining innovative strategies to cut costs, improve efficiency, and expand into new markets. Her knowledge of the company's operations, gained from years of observing it from the ground level, was unparalleled. Philip's face turned red with anger and embarrassment. "This is outrageous. You can't seriously be considering this." "This janitor's ideas," he sputtered. One board member, a seasoned businesswoman named Evelyn Hart, stood up. "Actually, Philip, I think Marcia's ideas are exactly what this company needs. And given your track record, I'd say it's time for a change in leadership." Over the next few weeks, the board conducted an internal investigation into Philip's management. They uncovered numerous instances of financial mismanagement, unethical behavior, and poor decision-making. Marcia, on the other hand, continued to impress them with her insights and professionalism. In a shocking turn of events, the board voted to remove Philip as CEO. They offered the position to Marcia, who accepted with humility and gratitude. On her first day as CEO, Marcia walked into the office not with a cleaning cart, but with a briefcase. The employees, many of whom had once looked down on her, now watched her with awe and respect. Philip, now stripped of his power, sat at his desk packing up his belongings. Marcia approached him, extending a hand. "No hard feelings," she said. Philip glared at her, but said nothing. As Marcia took her place at the head of the conference table, she addressed the employees. "This company has a chance for a fresh start," she said, "and it starts with treating every single person here with the respect they deserve." Her words resonated deeply, inspiring a cultural shift within the company. Under Marcia's leadership, Crestview Enterprises thrived. Profits soared, and the workplace became a model of inclusivity and respect. Marcia's story became a powerful reminder that everyone, no matter their position, has the potential to make a difference. And as for those who had once laughed at her, they learned the hard way that karma has a way of coming full circle.